Good afternoon, I'm Debbie from Testa's Pantry, and today we are keeping it simple. It's so cold out and windy, and it's winter, so we're doing something a little different, a little comfort food for a change. I think we need that. So anyways, I've roasted some tomatoes, which I will be taking out of the oven shortly, and I have minced some garlic here. So we're going to finish mincing that, and I'm going to add that with some shallot into a saute pan. So there you can see it a little bit better there. So the shallots I've sliced and quartered. And we'll put those in the pan first. Now the pan, I'm using a cast iron pan over here on the stove, and you can see the pasta boiling there. So we're going to put the shallots in the pan and let them caramelize just a tiny bit. And then we will add the garlic. So I've sliced up one good-sized shallot and 3 smaller sizes, smaller cloves of garlic. So here we get those right there. In addition to that, I'm going to give those a quick stir though. So we don't want them to burn. We just want them to get translucent. So that's what we're going to do there. And then I have some basil. We'll chop up some basil. And there's a sprig of thyme and a couple sprigs of mint. Mint is really cool in any kind of tomato-based sauce, if you would say. And it's kind of like a surprise to me, but I started doing this about 10 years ago, and it's pretty amazing. It just adds some brightness and takes away some of the acidity of any tomatoes that might have acquired some. Although we try not to have any acidity, right? Okay, so I'm going to scrape up the herbs here, and the garlic, and then we'll move over to the stove. All right. So we're going to put the garlic, the basil, and the mint, and this thyme right in that pan there, and let it all saute just a little bit. And then I'm going to add the tomatoes, which are in the oven. Now, I think we roasted tomatoes one other time before, and they're quite delicious. I've done them on 450. I halved Roma or plum tomatoes. See? Don't they look yummy? Okay. We're turning the oven off. And we're going to take these plum tomatoes, or Roma tomatoes, as they are, and we're going to put them right in here with the sauteed vegetables. They get really syrupy almost when they're roasted. And they have such a different flavor. They become a little bit more, I don't know, they just don't taste like a summer tomato. They're a roasted tomato. They're very good. Okay, we'll put that over here. We don't need that anymore. And we're going to give those a stir and get them all blended in together. Now, the tomatoes did have salt and pepper on them, but I'm going to put a little teeny bit more salt, because what I'm going to do now is add some beans. These are small white beans. So we'll put those in there. And I have a spoon here somewhere. We'll use this. I put the juice in too, only because that will help make a moister pasta dish. All right, so the beans are in. Do you want crushed red pepper? We can add a little bit of crushed red pepper too. So if you do, then you just take and you crush it as it's dry. Don't need much, just a little teeny bit, because that's pretty hot. I'll put in just the rest of it that's crushed there. Okay, so that is done. I'm going to mash this all together. I don't know if you can see this, but this is beautiful. Really, really pretty. All right, it's hearty, and it is going to be wonderful with pasta. So I'm mashing this up a little bit just to get more caramelization in the tomatoes and in the beans. All right, that's all done. Now I'm going to take the spider and put the pasta in, because the pasta is cooked. And the reason I'm using the spider is because I do want to save the pasta water in case we need to add more to liquefy it afterwards. So we put the pasta right in with the tomatoes and the beans. This makes for a very hearty dish. Not a side dish, this is a main course dish. Of course, if you want it as a side dish, you can do that too. All right, so those are all out. Now I'm going to take some grated cheese. All right, we have a Locatelli. You can use a Parmesan or a Romano, whatever you have in your refrigerator that works. And then what I'm going to do is, even though I sauteed the onions or the shallots and garlic in our Arbequina, I'm going to drizzle a little bit more over the top. And I'm going to do that just to give it some richness. I'm using the Arbequina because it's a little fruitier, it's on the sweet side, and it will enhance the flavor of the beans and the tomatoes. There, I'll take a picture of this and put it out there. But here you have this beautiful dish. And we'll drizzle a tiny bit of the olive oil over it. And there we have it. It is a stunning dish. Hearty and warm and comforting for a cold winter's day. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.